from Dark Elf society, like they are not welcomed within the cities of Nagaroth. So they are forced, whether they like it or not, to live out in the wilds of Nagaroth, which are extremely hostile and nasty. But due to that, they are able to make themselves useful as scouts and like stealth agents and stuff like that. And obviously they specialize in good guerrilla warfare, and they're very, very good hunters and are quite skilled at tracking people down and shooting them with crossbows and stuff. Shadow Warriors, on the other hand, are the native people of Nagaryth, which Nagaryth is the shattered kingdom from which Malekith originally hails, and many of the Dark Elves. And while most of the people of Nagaryth sided with Malekith and the traitors, there were those that remained loyal to the Phoenix Crown, and those that remained loyal fought for their home until it was essentially exploded by the Sundering. And when that happened, all that was left of their land is known as the Sundered Lands, which are complete... Oh shit, it's a Leshen. Which is just a complete mess. And, oh god, birds. Birds! Jesus. Stop that. Ah! I want to miss. I think I've missed every single Igni this fight. Can cast Flock of Doom? It absolutely can cast Flock of Doom. Wow, a lot of people love journals here. Last pages from Count Romilly's journal. A pox upon Anastasia von Borderman. A pox upon her whole plowing house. I finally found a way to end this deadly little charade she's put on. The key to unraveling the riddle lay in the dusty tome in my library. That little viperess was marked by a Leshen. That is why the monster attacked my castle. There's only one way out of this situation. I snuck up while she slept and throttled her. She didn't even manage to peep. Now I can finally leave my castle walls, thank the gods. The monstrosity has skirted off into oblivion along with that accursed child. The entire affair was a horrific error. I'm just glad the savings from the previous missions are safely preserved in the castle's treasury. I must recruit some mage, perhaps that will ensure I avoid such incidents in the future. Except for he was clearly an idiot, because it looks like the Leshen was bound to him instead. Dumbass. So I'm saying they live in the shade. Shut up and get out of my chat. Pods. But anyway, yeah, so Shadow Warriors are the folk left over from Nagaryth itself, and they are completely and utterly consumed by their hatred of Dark Elves and basically run around hunting them, and they refuse to let go of that hate. It is impossible for them. Ah, not a warg. I don't like wargs. Ow! Stop it! Also, I saw some people asking earlier. Sadie is doing very, very well. I took her to the dog park today for the very first time. It was very funny because for the first about 30 minutes, she was basically like the super awkward introvert child being taken to kindergarten for the first time, and she was very scared of everything. And like we literally walked. So there's two gates to get into the dog park, right? There's like a first gate that actually gets you into where a lot of people like hang their leashes and stuff. And then there's the secondary gate, which gets you into the actual dog park. That way, you know, it's hard for the dogs to escape. Okay, that was a weird way to phrase it, but you know what I mean. So I took Sadie in and we went through the first gate and I took her off her leash and I was like, all right, like, you know, you're all good to go. You can go play. And she looked around and was like, I don't know. I don't know about this. And I was like, you know, it's fine. You can go play. And so I opened the second gate, and there were like already dogs playing and stuff. So I walked through, and she didn't. She just stood there and was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And it was like, oh my God, you're fine. So I tried to push her butt. She wouldn't budge. Put the leash back on her, and she was like, okay. And because she'll follow you if you have a leash on. So I let her through the gate. I had to lead her into it. And so she went in, and finally, and she was very, very slow about like kind of moving her way around and all that stuff. Wait, what? Oh, there it is. But after about 30 minutes of being kind of nervous and avoiding other dogs and stuff, there was one dog that was so determined to play with Sadie. He was hell bent on playing with Sadie. He kept play bowing in front of her and like barking at her. And she finally was like, oh, okay. And she started playing with him. And once she started playing with one of them, then we were good. So we were there for about 2 hours. And she got to play a whole bunch. I took some videos, so I'll put those up on the Twitter in a little bit, and the YouTube channel as well. Thanks, Al. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. So she got to play with a bunch of dogs. All right, entries in chronological order. Last few pages torn out, which we already read. This craft has proved even more profitable than I had anticipated. 5 of the last 7 kidnappings ended in success. Only 2 of the lads had fathers too miserly to ransom their sons. Clearly was more offspring where those came from, so the calculating knaves deemed the captured snots expendable. Note for the future, demand a significantly smaller ransom from clients with more than one male heir. I sent the lads after Anastasia von Bormann. The lord of Zutzer Castle is a magnificently wealthy noble, and Anastasia is his only child. I smell a lucrative transaction. Lads returned with the client's daughter that very night. The girl is calm, apathetic even. Something strange is afoot in the castle's surroundings. Flocks of ravens perch in the trees bordering the yard. This morning, a new contingent flew in. 2 serving maids have gone missing. Could my lads have been responsible, or did those ravens peck them to death? There's a giant ink blot that covers half the page. One of my grooms has died. From what the remaining servants recount, he was killed by tree roots that suddenly thrust straight out of the ground. My men are petrified. Wolves howl day and night in the land surrounding the estate. Leaving the castle walls means certain death. We have barricaded ourselves inside and live as if under siege. Luckily, we've ample supplies of food and water. Perhaps it's some kind of curse. Franz, the servant who led the unit that kidnapped Anastasia, has hanged himself. Black magic is surely at work. I must search the castle library for some indication what this might be. Yep. Sure enough, he learned that it was a Leshen, and then he killed the girl, and then the Leshen killed him. Way to go, dingus. Oh, hey! Who was stronger in beast magic, Tehenowin or Durthu at the end of his life? Like end times Durthu? It would be end times Durthu. End times Durthu was like insanely strong of a wizard because he had all the power of the ancients. But like Durthu before the death of Coadil was not a very good wizard. Like he was a pretty weak wizard, all things considered, and Tehenowin was a fairly powerful wizard. Another page. Ransom letter. To the Honorable Raphael von Bormann, Lord of Zutzer Castle. We wish to reassure you, my dear sir, that your daughter is in the flower of good health. She continues to enjoy said health, provided her father acts according to our instructions. They are as follows. In 6 days, at the exact stroke of midnight, you, sir, to present yourself in person outside the cursed chapel near Brunwick in order to hand over a ransom to the amount of 1,000 unshaven Novigrad crowns. You are to sound no alarm and come alone with no guards or retainers of any sort. I trust we needn't add that any failure to show these instructions will result in immediate and proportionate decline in the young and beautiful Lady Bormann's health. My best wishes to you, sir. I mean, dude kind of got what he deserved, but it's a shame that he killed the girl. Lady, you alright? That's the dude that hung himself. All right. Gonna keep knocking these out. I don't have any other side quests, right? Besides the... Yeah. Is there anything I hope they don't do but worry GW might do with the old world, or do I feel confident with how everything is shaping up? Oh, I have a lot of worries. I have a ton of worries. I mean, I am definitely very concerned that they're gonna like get rid of, like, I'm very concerned that they're gonna do like significant rewrites that might like deeply affect the story in negative ways. Like I'm afraid they might like forget about certain characters, or they might decide to remove characters, or that they might decide that like, oh, they really, really like a certain character, so they're not gonna have them die when, or at least vaguely how they're supposed to die, instead just like being like, oh no, they like totally survived this or whatever. I'm worried about a lot of characters losing some of like their narrative powerful moments. Like one of the biggest things going on right now that I'm worried about, one of the very few things actually that I'm worried about with Cubicle 7 is I really like their new I really enjoy their new lore for the Norscan dwarves. I think overall it's very good. However, one of the things I don't like about it is that Thorgrim Grudgebearer is supposed to play a pretty significant role in the whole situation with the Norscan dwarves, because he's supposed to be the one that kind of like reunited them with the Karazankor. He's the one that sort of like reestablished relations, and they kind of, there's no mention of Thorgrim in the Norscan dwarves updated lore. Like he doesn't really show up at all. So like I'm a little worried that like there are places where they might be reducing the importance of characters who were already pre-established, which is not great. That certainly does kind of like raise an eyebrow for me and have me worried. Master Erlich's orders. To Antonin Fell. Clear the elven ruins of all valuable artifacts. Once that's done, put fire to the rubbish heap and burn to the ground. Regarding your question about the elven manuscripts you discovered, hand over the diagram during the next change of patrols, or armor smith set about deciphering it. Diagram. Elegant letter. To be delivered personally to the hands of the Honorable Knight Sir Antonin Fell. Our unusual partnership has brought me enormous pleasure. I trust Sir Knight finds himself in good health. I have cataloged the last shipment of elven sculptures and sold the entire lot at once. As per our agreement, find attached the bill of accounts for our most recent transactions. Sculpture, Gian Lorenzo, The Rape of Elriena. Buyer, Kurt Dysart, 300 Novigard crowns, minus 35% transaction fee. Sculpture, Botticelli, Phoebus, and Daphne. Buyer, Kurt Dysart, 430 Novigard crowns. Okay, these are just things sell. Sadly, I was unable to finalize the sale of Pietas by Michael Angliak to Brandon & Co. Incorporated. The company sued for a deferment of the sale due to some claimed financial difficulties. Rumor around town claimed the firm's senior partner was robbed in broad daylight by some white-haired witcher. But for obvious reasons, I did not agree to prolong the payment period. A messenger with the earnings will present itself at the agreed upon spot. I impatiently wait the next transport. Whoops. I'm sure that has nothing to do with me. Are any of the named greater demons in the old world? All of them. Yeah, greater demons are immortal, so they're all around. And all of the big ones in Warhammer Fantasy have been around for a very long time. Is that an evil boar? It is. Ow. wild boar. Oh, there's more. Ow. Ow. Wild boars are like legit terrifying. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a wild boar. They are no bueno. Ow, fudge! Well, that was painful. Is Tehinuin technically a greater demon of Sotek? No, because Tehinuin is a well, he's very long-lived, but he is mortal. Like, he's a living, breathing creature of the physical realm. In order to be a demon, you have to be a magical construct, essentially. Tehinuin is more like a high priest. You know, he's a he's a prophet. He is someone that bears a significant amount of holy power. Another one. Yep.
What now, you piece of filth?
If Lizardmen get stronger and bigger with time, how would Curse of Years affect them?
That's it, Rose.
Curse of Years is not strictly in the form of like, oh, if you're one of those things that grows stronger with time, this spell will empower you. That theoretically could happen, but generally speaking, Curse of Years tends to age you to the extent that it's not like, oh, you're only 100 years older. It's, no, you're made out of dust now. Like, you physically break down. Though, theoretically, it could have an unusual effect. If someone wanted to, like, really get into the nitty-gritty. Eternal, your mom.
Get him from the left!
You, brother!
There you go.
Stinky!
Here, Witcher,
Ow!
He's casted spells!
Ow! Ow! Jesus. Making amateur mistakes here.
Yeah, it shall be overtaken. Here, Witcher, Witcher.
I could just not land a parry on that guy for some reason. Bandits. Or fallen knights, whatever the hell they are. Was this at 47%? We have not met the runesmith yet, but we are going to meet him very, very shortly. Kind of clearing some stuff out. You embarrassed yourself, knight. Oh no, I'm fat.
Shut up and fight.
No, I don't like spiders. They're very annoying. Why are you even here? Long sword. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh yeah, you're right. That is the wrong oil for them. Get the perk that heals when you consume potions. Okay. I will look into that the next time we level up. Fancy.
Diagram. Seem to be Ophiri markings on it. Might find someone who could explain them to me.
Off here's distant shores. All right, we have reached maximum fatness. We must we must find a there it is. It is time to go sell. At least we're back in like the Novigrad Velen area, so it's really easy to find like lots of merchants without having to go through the stupid cinematics and everything. Oh yeah, we do have that ability. I keep forgetting. Oh, that's better. Okay, so we know there's a merchant here.
Stranger, greetings. Might you be interested in a moment's chat?
You're a long way from Ophir.
A long way, and with dangers fraught. But in our homeland, they say, in risk, there is honor.
Got a ring to it. Not true in my experience, though. Faced plenty of risks. Honor, not so much.
Because risk issues from intent. Important is this intent. The long passage I brave to admire the unknown and bring glory to myself and my liege.
My
The
liege.
world we must explore. Virgin lands discover. New knowledge garner among our brothers than to spread. For is there in life a beauty greater than to admire the new? To stand in awe of the never-ending creation of the world?
That mean I've landed in a camp of explorers and philosophers?
Indeed. Your customs we come to observe. Knowledge to exchange. And goods, naturally, to trade.
He's got a nice outfit. Let's do this first.
What did you bring from Ophir? Mind if I have a look?
Oh. They have curved swords, chat. Curved swords, and they have Gwent cards. Oh my god. No. God. For a fancy merchant, you did not have as much. Yeah, sure. I'll buy that just so I can sell all this shit. Give me all your money. Damn it.
What did you bring? Your homeland. Be glad to hear some tales about it if you've got the time.
If time you have. For of my home I could speak until your ears withered and your legs failed you. What here they call Ophir, in truth, is many diverse polities and peoples. A land it is of vast steppes, mountains forbidding, lakes clear as crystal, and wild lands untouched. A land of fallen empires, kingdoms at their peak, and tribes that know no monarchs, yet remember in myth a time when the world was young.
You call any of these lands home?
Yes, a town with towers to make Nilfgaard weep with envy. Of philosophers, doctors, mathematicians, and mages an enclave. But about these last you should, my friend, interrogate, for one among them is he, a runewright.
I'll make it a point to talk to him.
Very cool.
Found this diagram. Think the markings might be Ophiri. Can't decipher them. Willing to help?
This writing I recognize. We arrived in this land to immediate trouble. Local men, frankly rogues. A tact
Rogues.
word. These are good instructions to forge fantastic gears fit for a king. To the ruler here I was to present them. But assist me. Retrieve the entire set, and I shall draft duplicates marked in the tongue of your craftsman.
You got it, buddy.
Sounds like a fair deal. Think I can probably find those diagrams for you.
These bandits, they knights seemed. They blow even harder.
Where'd it happen, this attack?
At the crossroads, a sawmill near to it, and the ruins of a residence to the north, I believe.
See what I can do. Farewell.
Wait, I'm not done with you.
It is to see you again. Quite the pleasure.
What about your horse?
Quite the mount you've got.
Ah, yes. A loyal friend I have in Babietza, and she is
Babietza.
wiser than many a man. Countless races we have won together.
Race.
So, an explorer and a jockey in one.
That is a nice looking
From
horse.
where I come, small children ride, and not a gathering is by a horse race not crowned.
Let's do it.
Heard a lot of good things about Ophiri mares. Their speed. Care to race?
Swift as the western winds are our mounts. To prove this would be an honor. So race we must.
Race we must. Wait, I gotta what? Josh, hold on. As soon as I'm done with that this race, I'll check it out. Bye bye.
Be swift. I would see you at full speed.
I don't know why I'm not seeing anything. What the heck?